We're out here at Derby High School, joined by one of our male high school athletes of the week. It's a good friend of the program here. It's Arieus Finley. We talked to him a couple times over these last couple years, but we talked to him around this time last year. Derby punches another ticket to sub-state. Arieus, kind of talk about what it means for you guys getting that win against Northwest last week, a big-time win against a really good program.
I mean, we really just took it really personal, that, everybody was expecting us to lose, and then not only lose, everybody expected us to lose by a large amount. So everybody, everybody took it personal going into the game, everybody was really real life locked in. Like, I haven't felt the team as locked in as we was last week and this week.
Yeah, and it feels like it's been locked in since that last loss of the regular season. It feels like that was kind of a turning point for you guys where you guys have turned the season around. What happened after that loss against Bishop Carroll in the locker room? Was there a come to Jesus talk? What was the locker room like after you guys end the season at 5-3?
I mean, it was like wow, because we haven't been a 5-3 team in so many years. So I feel like everybody took it as like that, like hurt, like wow. And then everybody, like, we kept seeing all the posts, Derby isn't Derby anymore, Derby fell off, so it was like we just took it as full motivation, to get it together. We was really, I feel like the problem was we had a bunch of people playing for, like, individually, a bunch of people playing for themselves. Now I feel like everybody really came together. Now we all playing united as one, and playing as a real life brotherhood.
And there was a bunch of guys playing as a team last week. You guys scored passing touchdown, rushing touchdown, special teams touchdown, defensive touchdown. Felt like everything kind of came together. Was it the preparation last week up to that game that kind of led into a really good performance?
Yeah, and like I said, just the motivation of everybody seeing that, everybody expect us to lose, because we send it to each other like, hey, people saying, we're getting lucky. People saying, they don't expect us to, make it out of this week. So it's like, we want to prove everybody wrong. We like being the underdog. We really got a good underdog mentality.
And you guys ran for almost 400 yards last week. You had a bunch of big holes. Kind of talk about the work the offensive line did last week and making some big holes.
Oh yeah, they was working for real, especially in the trenches. All the big dogs on both sides of the ball. Defensive line, they was creating havoc, getting in the backfield. I think they got a sack first drive out the game. So just that shows that the O line can make a big difference, and D line to make a big difference. So we show much appreciation to them, because without them we nothing.
And this is a big game this week. Every game's a big game, but this one, it's a rivalry game with Manhattan on the road. Kind of talk about what it would mean to get revenge against the team that ended your guys' season last year.
I mean, we not looking at it as revenge. We looking at it as buying 7 more weeks. Buying 7 more days. I mean, excuse me.
Yeah.
But we not looking at it as revenge game. Get back in. We just trying to buy 7 more days with each other, because at the end of the day, that's all we got.
And you guys, where do you feel like you've improved the most as a team since that week 1 loss against Hayes? Because it's been an in-season turnaround for you guys. Where have you guys felt like you've gotten the most better?
Because we improved a lot on everywhere. Receivers, I feel like as a team, just knowledge-wise, IQ. Everybody. Now we see the game slowing down more for everybody. Not just at one spot on the field. Everybody sees the game better, sees the game more, and I feel like it's just that just goes through with our preparation throughout the week. I feel like everybody's more locked in, everybody's more focused.
Yeah, and you have a quarterback that has a bunch of IQ, a quarterback that is a coach's son. He's the youngest son of Coach Clark. You got to play with the oldest son as well. Kind of talk about what it means to have Blade under center and just kind of that coach on the field that he brings to the table.
Yeah, my dog Blader. I've been playing with him since middle school. 7th grade when I came to Derby. So, the chemistry is there. It's because I've been in the backfield with him before. And then, it's like I love being in the backfield with him, because I blade what I'm doing. He'll tell me real quick. So it's like it feels real good.
And what do you feel like makes this year's team different than last year's team? You were a part of last year's team in a big way. Just kind of what makes this year's team different?
I feel like we tighter than last year's for sure, because last year we definitely had a tight team, but I feel like this year we're tighter because we had to battle adversity. Last year we didn't have no adversity until we got to this game. This year we got those 3 losses. We didn't have to come from behind. So we don't have to battle. So the adversity that we done been through, I feel like it makes us stronger.
And what's kind of the scouting report look like for this week against Manhattan? What are you guys seeing on film from them?
Shoot, I mean they a good team. They real physical on defense, physical offense. They real good physical up front. So we just looking, just be physical back. Like at the end of the day, last year coach pointed out that we played cowardly,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that really stuck out to me. Like, yeah, looking back at it at film, we did play cowardly. So it's not, you know, it's this year. It's, get locked and loaded. You know, strap it up. It's time to go. You know, handle business.
Mm-hmm. And what would a state championship mean for you?
For me, boy, man, it mean great. You know, I love to, I love to get there because, at a young age, I've been playing football, since I was about 3-4 years old. So, I've been playing at a high level for so many years, so many championships, along the way. So it's like, it'd be like, you feel me? Like, yeah, I did that. We did that, Yeah, we got one.
Well, Arieus, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Best of luck on Friday and the rest of the way this season.
Yeah, thank you.